I was in my local gun shop recently after some pellets, but the nice thing about this place is they do have a decent selection of knives, some really quite expensive, to this that was sat there at, I think, about £13 or so. And I had a look at it and I thought, it's quite a striking looking design, isn't it? Can I have a look at that one, please? Yeah, fairly hefty. Nice big chunky knife. Pocket clip. Fits well into my hand. Yeah, that's all right. I'll have that, and some pellets and some other bits and pieces. It's definitely one of those kind of shops where you go in and spend much more than you actually intended to. Got it home, had a look into it, and this is by Buckland. Buckland the Future. It's a fairly grandiose name, I think, but you know, why not? These scales are aluminium. And we're going to look at the word aluminium later. Oh yes. Single pillar there, hinge there. Doesn't seem to be anything in the way of nylon washers or anything like that. But a decent thumb stud. Lovely smooth action. Very nice. Ambidextrous, there's no cutout as such with the thumb stud there, but again, that's not difficult to open. I have had a go with these tiny little Torx fixings, and they're actually quite well made. You can see they're not even scratched, which again is quite a nice idea of the quality of this thing. 420 stainless blade, so, well, not exactly high quality, but nice sharp edge in there, nice sharp edges there, and here. How much sharper do you need for £13? Anyway, I was sort of flicking over the internet thinking, well, I wonder why it wasn't branded, or why there isn't sort of branding in this. There's a space for a plate here, I thought, was it fallen off or quite what? So I did a little bit of research, and it actually is a clone of the Rockstead Higo. That has titanium scales, not aluminium ones, and it's also £940 or $1,250. So I'm quite happy to own a clone of that, because frankly the idea of spending that much, I've bought cars and bikes for less than that. I know some people don't like clones, but there's no way I'm going to own anything that looks quite like this at that sort of price. The original Rockstead one doesn't have this sort of section here. I guess this is for copyright reasons, so it's not actually we've not actually cloned the whole thing. But it is a nice steady knife, nice convex edge there, which just gives that fantastic edge and cutting power. It's a nice chunky knife, fits in my hand really well. It is a fairly big old blade. Let's have a look. Blade is, we got about 4 inches overall, just shy of 9 inches. You know, a fairly hefty knife. The centering there is, it's 13 quid. It's £13 worth of centering. It's not too bad. There's not a lot of blade play. The lockup perfectly fine. Nice ambidextrous design. Decent firm lockup. And it sounds quite good. So if you're in the market for a cheap knife and you want something that is a tenth of the price of the real thing, try have a look at one of these. They're fairly widely available. So they vary between 13 and 16 odd pounds. This really, really nice wavy form, and I just think it's really, really handsome. It struck me as soon as I saw it. I thought, oh, if that's not too expensive, or even if it is a bit expensive, I'm going to have that. But like I said, I wouldn't pay £940 for one, because it's just, it's just not going to be done. So, if you've seen this channel before, you know I do like words, and this is none of these things. People say, oh, yeah, Americanism's coming into play, aluminum. Is it aluminium or aluminum? Right, here's a brief history lesson. This substance was first mentioned in 1790, when it was called alumina. In 1808, Sir Humphrey Davy called it aluminium, but then changed it a year later in a speech he gave about the stuff to alumine. Aluminium indeed was first used in 1928 in a US dictionary, but by 1909 had become aluminum. 1934 Webster's dictionary uses both, so it's another one of those words that people go on about, oh, Americanism stretching into English. Well, it's actually an older word than aluminium is.